Born in 1923, artist Mahmoud Hammad was a foundational contributor to the formation of modern art institutions in Syria. At 16, Hammad traveled to Italy for a study trip and returned to participate in group exhibitions organized by emergent civic organizations throughout the 1940s, and participated in the Association of Syrian Artists in the 1950s. Hammad was an early recipient of a binational fellowship to complete a degree at the Accademia di Belle Arti in Rome, where the artist studied from 1953 to 1957 and participated in exhibitions and prize competitions. Upon returning to Syria, he fulfilled his fellowship obligations by teaching art for 2 years south of Damascus from 1958 to 1960. His knowledge of technique made him a consummate educator, and from 1960 until he died in 1988, he not only taught painting at the Faculty of Fine Arts in Damascus, but also rose to become head of the department, followed by serving as dean of the school. In his papers are pictures of Hammad with his students and fellow teachers in the studios and at the gates of the Faculty of Fine Arts in Damascus. On the back of a letterhead from the University of Damascus, Hammad drafted a letter to the Ministry of Culture and National Guidance. Hammad sent with the letter his translation of a research paper by Nello Ponente titled The Non-Figurative Styles in Plastic Art, authored in 1964. Ponente co-founded the Faculty of Fine Arts in Damascus with Hammad and other Syrian artists. This letter illustrates the translation efforts that Hammad has put into utilizing his knowledge of the Italian language and making his fellow teachers' work studies accessible to their students. In Hammad's papers is a list dated August 1977 that documents the artworks, monument designs, medals, postal stamps, and graphic art pieces made by Mahmoud Hammad when he was assistant professor. The paper lists the scientific produce of the artist, 29 pieces that ranged from acrylic on paper and woodwork from 1972, which refers to Hammad's distinctive period of hurufiyya, in which he experiments with compositions of Arabic letters and sentences in his works. He also produced 28 medals, 39 postal stamps published by the state, a design for a monument celebrating the Tabqa Dam on the Euphrates, and 10 graphic art pieces using linoleum. In a report dated May 5, 1973, and as the Dean of the Faculty of Fine Arts at the University of Damascus, Hammad stated his recommendations for developing art education in high schools. He noted the small number of hours dedicated to teaching art at schools, the need for teacher formation, and the rarity of art supplies and locally focused teaching resources essential for relating the students to their heritage and context. The artist educator recommended training more primary school art teachers, assigning at least one art teacher in every school, and supplying the school with abundant art materials to encourage children to practice art freely. He also recommended dedicating 4 hours of classes to art every week. Hammad's papers also include press clippings that he collected during his life and from his family upon passing in 1988. In Al-Bath newspaper on August 28, 1988, Mamdouh Kashlan published an article in which he claims that being a teacher, but also dean of the Faculty of Fine Arts and head of the painting department there, Hammad was an educator and brewer of all the artists that had graduated from this institution since 1960, until Hammad's passing in 1988. With that and his dedicated work, Hammad elevated the nation's aspiration and confidence in their ability to found and contribute to the Arab art movements of the time.